Awful. So I'm a little to the, so I gotta move it a little more to the right, I guess. Oh my goodness, this sneeze is crazy. Off. It's like you don't even have to have a cough. It's just the cold air just activates. Just achoo, achoo, achoo. Crazy sneezes. Let's see if I make space here. All right. Oh yeah, we got to bring the microphone in. Otherwise, YouTube is not gonna work out. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Stop using Western technology if you don't like foreign officials. Anyway. Man, it's a shame we can't see the attendance list like this. That's awful. Okay. Okay, microphone is good. Mostly good. Let's get our notepad up. I wonder. And I wonder. Doll, good morning, good morning. We're gonna kill the music for now. All right, that should do it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It would be great. I mean, I guess it would be great. Oh, that's the plugin sensor, right? Oh no, put that back. I wonder. So, we are somewhat back, not really, but this is what it is. This is what we have right now, and this is what we have to work with. So, brief explanation. So yesterday, as we were doing our live stream podcasts, I got another notice. Thanks, WeChat. I got a notice. It's like, hey, no foreign anchors. We don't want foreign anchors. Oh my god, they're non-mainland residents, which is nonsense because obviously I am a freaking mainland resident for the last 12 years. But I digress. I don't have an Asian face, so I don't pass. And anyway, so that means that we could not. Oh, that must be awful. We cannot have our video live stream up because WeChat, just like all the other platforms out here, does not like to have foreign faces on their live stream unless you did 50 times the work that everybody else does, which I've actually have, which is the worst part. Anyway, um, so now we are, of course, back into audio mode. We are back into just voice. But that's okay because it's, of course, it reinforces what I said earlier, what I've said before about how these platforms function. And it also reinforces the fact that I must continue to prioritize YouTube because WeChat is prejudiced. And that's all there is to it, my guys. That's all there is to it. So if we want to have a stream on video, you'd have to check it out on YouTube. If you're going to be on the stream on audio, which is fine, you can just hang out here on WeChat. That's how it is, my friends. That's how it is. And we don't have any control over it. And with that, I was looking at actually starting to stream on Twitch, but honestly speaking, Twitch is a gaming platform. So unless I'm streaming games, I don't think it makes sense for me to stream on Twitch. I know there's a lot of people who aren't gamers on Twitch and they have streams there or whatever, but they're usually already very public, very popular figures. Good morning, Iris. So yeah, that's kind of the situation. If I do Twitch, I would do it as a multi-stream on OBS, where I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I suppose in that situation, I wouldn't be streaming on WeChat per se, maybe just voice or audio. Good morning, Vladdy. Yes. Anywho, that's what we're dealing with right now. I was looking over some of my old content yesterday with one of my clients. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember I saw this old video of yours. It was really funny." And I was like, you know what? I did appreciate, even though I don't really like that kind of content that much. I did appreciate how fun it was to have like an end product that was at least somewhat funny and interesting. But that's not what I'm trying to do, guys. So we're not gonna revert. We're not gonna revert to doing funny content. Maybe if we can make our smart content also funny, that would be good. That would be good. But that's very difficult to achieve without a team, you know what I mean? Because I still have to do everything on my own. With one exception, with the exception of my editor, right? I have an editor to clip my videos. Well, actually, I clip my videos and the editor does like additional modifications. So like putting in some sound effects or some scenes here and there. Just adding cool little details, I suppose. Transitions, zoom in, zoom out, effects, this kind of stuff. But yeah, I do clip my own videos still. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I should put out like a casting call for for people who can make my clips cooler, nicer, more engaging. I don't know. Because I understand like the topics that I talk about, the area that we are involved in is very niche, very nichey. It's not viral like making funny videos, right? So it's gonna be tough. It's a tough road. But anyway, in the long run, I think it would be worth it. But we gotta wait to catch up to that long run. So, good morning, Joanna. Good morning to you guys. How's everybody doing today? It is Friday, which is great. It is Friday morning. That is fantastic. That means we're going to have some time to hopefully relax and take a break over the weekend and not fuss too much. Yeah, last weekend I had to go to like a team building thing over the weekend. So it was still, still a day off, but not like totally. But this weekend, what do we have? This weekend, I think there's like a end of the year forward slash Christmas party kind of mix up thing going on tomorrow, which I'm not really one to participate with those kind of things. It's just not my cup of tea. But maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So if you're doing anything interesting on the weekend, let me know. I'm curious. I'd like to know. Anywho, yesterday we very poorly touched on the main topic, which was self-preservation, and we did a quick review of what we were discussing before that. And the one before that was something with a R. Something with a R. Reputation. There we go. Man, even I forget. Even I forget the things that I'm actually covering. But that's what happens. Like when you do this almost every day, kind of lose track of stuff. Anywho, so I feel like I need to do self-preservation from the top because it's like yesterday was so frustrating, really so frustrating. And you know what I think it is, honestly speaking, guys, because it's like I'm intentionally doing live streams in the morning so that I don't get the trolls and the losers and people who are going to come on my stream and cause trouble. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, right? I cannot say 100%, but I'm pretty sure that the reason I even got a notice yesterday was because there's some loser, some hater that showed up on the live stream and just reported the stream. I'm confident that it didn't happen naturally. Because if that was the case, then it would have happened much earlier. Like the first time I was doing the video stream again, that's when it would have happened. But that is the situation. Haters gonna hate, people, happens a lot, actually. This happened a lot during the evening streams, is that people don't want to see you doing something good. People don't want to see you succeed or to do something that is productive. And they're like, hey, if I can't do it, he shouldn't be able to do it either. And then they try to cause trouble. And, WeChat is sort of brain dead in that it doesn't actually look at the reports. It just looks at the volume in terms of like, oh, this was reported. Let's put an automatic penalty on it or something. And that's all there is to it. I remember some months ago, my stream was cut off. And this was before the 50,000 follower threshold. But some months ago, my stream was cut off and I got a penalty because it says I have a minor on the stream. And as you guys know, in my live streams, I'm the only person ever in my live streams. I am the only person. So, and it's like, hold on. In order for me to be able to live stream on WeChat, they have my passport. They have my residence permit. They have my banking information. They have everything about me. And they know for a fact that I'm not a minor. But still, my stream got cut off because of a minor on my stream. But I'm the only person on the stream. So, it really confirms how brain dead WeChat is when it comes to live streaming. Is that they actually don't look at what issues are going on. They're just like, okay, well, let's blanket this penalty or report. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, I mean, what else are we supposed to do? We got to keep trucking. We got to keep going. There's really not much else we can do. But yeah, I want to say 70% sure, give or take, 70% sure, maybe even 80% that it had to do with some losers showing up on the live stream and reporting the stream. That's what it is. And you know what? I'm not even mad at them. Because if I see a guy like me on a live stream that is significantly more successful than I am, even with all these barriers, I'd be jealous too. I'd be really jealous. I'm like, you know what? How is it possible This guy is on this damn stream. He's not even allowed to be on video. He only does a voice stream. And he does it in the morning where the lowest number of people exist, which is the morning time. And it's still more successful than the streams of these guys who get free reign to do video streams in the evening time. I'd be jealous too if I were them. And frankly speaking, even with the trolls and all that stuff, the problem is not so much about the trolls. The problem is about the platform. In fact, the problem is the platform. Because if that wasn't even like permissible as a report, then this wouldn't even be a problem. But the fact that they have even given these trolls the power to cause that kind of trouble means that the problem is the platform. The fact that I'm using the platform is in support of what they're doing. But, you know, shoot yourself in the foot if you want to. And this is why, like, my main pinup video that I have on my channel is talking about this issue. And I will always leave that there. Always. I know what you mean, Iris. Yeah, Iris says, on the bright side, it means that you are powerful enough to make people jealous. Hey, man, I hear you. I hear you. And, you know, it's like video game logic. It's video game logic. It's like, if you don't encounter enemies on your way up, then you're probably going in the wrong direction. It's only when you encounter enemies and conflicts and barriers, that's when you know you're going in the right direction. Unfortunately, video game logic, but it's true. Good morning, Xiao Xiao, Janet, Lily, 早上好. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me take early time. This is what I got to do because we're not far away from the threshold, right? Right now, we're about to be at 45,000 followers. We just need 5,000 more in reality. And then I can literally go on stream and flip the middle finger to the haters and they can't do anything about it. So with that said, please remember, take the time whenever possible. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys supporting me, even through all this nonsense. Take the time to go on my channel, share my videos if you can, like, you know, hit the like button on those things. You write a very simple comment, whatever. Whatever you do to push the videos, not the live stream, the videos, whatever you do to push the videos actually helps the channel get more exposure. And when the channel gets more exposure, that means that we get more followers. So thank you so much for supporting up until now. And if you can support me and support the channel into pushing those videos so we can get over that stupid 50,000 follower rule, at least, that would be amazing. That would be great. And like, I appreciate you supporting the live stream 100%. But right now, our problem is that we are getting penalized through the live stream, but we cannot be penalized through the videos because all of our videos are 100% compliant to the rules of the platform, right? But the live stream technically isn't, according to them. So if we can support the video content more, it will help push the channel more. And if it helps push the channel more, we'll get to that 50,000 follower number much faster, you know? And then we don't have to worry about this anymore, at least for a while, at least until they decide to put up the threshold again and cause more trouble for the foreign streamers or for me particularly, who knows. Anywho, so we'll do that. Right before I close stream, I'll just remind everybody and we'll go over it and do it again. Thank you, Aiden. 谢谢 Aiden for your heart. 谢谢 Sony 我的朋友. Yeah. I'm like not even 1%. Is it 1%? Yeah. I'm like 2% the way of covering some of the camera expenses. It's such a shame. It's such a shame because I spent so much effort and money to buy like a really good camera, a good DSLR, a good lighting system, so I can upgrade the quality of the stream as much as possible for you guys. But I can't even put the video on. That's dumb. That is so dumb. But what can I say? That's it. That's just life is not fair. And we are going to have to do whatever it is we need to do. That's all there is to it. Anyway, let's continue. So, we're talking about self-preservation, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to go from the top again. We're going to go from the top because obviously we didn't do a very good job covering it yesterday with everything going on. So, self-preservation. And like I said yesterday, the reason this came up was because I was considering the point about reputation, right? And when people or some bad actors do things that we disagree with, why would they do that? Why would they do something that would harm another person or be detrimental to another person? And, the idea that came to my mind is, well, self-preservation, more than likely self-preservation. And that's why I got to this topic today. This is how we got here, right? So let's get through it. So our first talking point is survival instinct. Survival instinct. So self-preservation is a natural instinct. It is something that we do it almost without thinking. There's a lot of decisions that we would make that are actually triggered by like a fight or flight mechanism within our DNA, right? It's not something you think about. It's not something you consider very much. It's just, it activates in the moment where you feel that you are in danger, right? So that's a more extreme example, like if you're in the wild getting chased by a tiger or something like that. But even outside of that, even with something that can take more space and more time, your self-preservation mechanisms can trigger, right? If you feel that you're in a situation where you may lose your job, for example, and your job is what provides you your livelihood, what allows you to survive, what allows you to live and eat and have a place that you can call home because you can pay your bills or you have a mortgage, all this stuff. Whatever actions you take to be able to keep your job, even if they are detrimental or hurtful to others, it is considered self-preservation. That is still a survival instinct, whether it is for yourself or for your family members, etc. Now, does this excuse it? Does it make it okay? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. But I can still understand and empathize with it. So there was a guy, quick story. There was a guy that came over to China some years ago, and he was like a chef or a cook or whatever. And long story short, I've spoken about this guy before. Long story short, he came, he borrowed a bunch of money from like all the business owners in town, and eventually he left. That was it. He didn't pay anything back. He owed a bunch of money. And he didn't follow through with his promises because he was supposed to be, introducing dishes and training people to make food in the bars and the restaurants and cafes around town. But, in reality, learning about his situation early on in his family and everything, I can understand why, if he believed that it wasn't going to be successful, that his efforts weren't actually going to be fruitful, one of the best things that he can do as a matter of self-preservation was to take the money and run. Now, again, I can understand that. I can empathize with him and his situation, but it doesn't make it right. And Lord knows if this guy ever shows up in town again, he's probably going to have a lot of people after him. So that's not great. That's not a great situation. So this is what we call burning bridges, of course. But that is a thing that people do, unfortunately. I think that if he really would have put 100% effort into creating a successful campaign for his food, for anything, anything related to the business that he was trying to do, I believe that would have been much more helpful for him and his family than to take a bunch of money from random people and then disappear because it's going to run out. I'm pretty sure it probably ran out a long time ago for him. And now he's back to square one, to having the same problem that he did before, where he doesn't have enough money to take care of his family, doesn't have any resources, and even has less resources than before since he burnt these bridges. So, it makes more sense to really have worked through it. Even at a point of self-preservation, it makes more sense. It's interesting. People talk about how dire their situations may be, but they don't put dire effort behind it sometimes, It's crazy. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our next talking point, folks. Hey, thank you for the Guanju, my friend. Thank you for the follow. 谢谢你. Somebody here, I think they just picked up the follow button. All right, let's see here. Actions. Let's go to number 2, the next talking point. Actions aren't always black and white. It's not always just this is right and this is wrong. That is true. So we're going to go through that. There are many situations where we can see an action that someone is taking and we can look at it as something terrible, something awful. And then we will see someone else take the same action and then we think, oh, that's good or that's acceptable. This is never a black and white situation, right? From different perspectives to different people, the same action may mean different things. So, for this guy, if we're looking at him, right, from the outside looking in, it definitely looks like an awful thing. And I still believe that what he did is an awful thing. For sure, for sure. But from his perspective, or maybe even his family's perspective, he's doing a great thing. He's making a big sacrifice and putting himself at risk to be able to provide for his family, right? So to a degree, I can definitely understand that actions cannot be looked at as black and white, as right or wrong. Everything has a sort of shade of gray, if that makes sense. And once again, it doesn't excuse him, but I can understand. 谢谢 Mary. Thank you, Mary, for joining the fan club. We have a new fan. We're getting closer to that 50,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right. So, let's see. I think it's going to be a matter of deciding like what is not only beneficial, but also what is necessary, So I find myself, like when I think about this situation, because this guy that I'm talking about, for example, from my side, he borrowed, I want to say, about maybe 100,000 yuan, give or take. Just short of 100,000. I think we probably spent something like around 80,000 on this guy. So it wasn't cheap. It's a lot of money, all things considered. It's a lot of money. So I definitely take issue, right? I definitely take issue with it. I don't think it's something that's acceptable or cool. But at the same time, yeah, I do understand that something that to me may have looked like selfishness For him, it may have looked like a necessary action or a necessary step. But that's done, right? That's done, and it doesn't really matter to me today. I do take a little bit of comfort with myself in knowing that I am not in a situation or anymore, right, where I feel it is necessary to take such a drastic action, such a drastic action. Like going to a foreign country, borrowing money from a whole bunch of people, playing it off for a while and then disappearing. Like, wow, dude, you know, that is super risky. You don't know who you're messing with. But at the same time, yeah, I find myself and I feel that I'm very fortunate to never have done that, for me. So at the very, very least, I can take comfort in knowing that. Thank you, Kylon. 谢谢 Kylon for the kebabs. Thank you very much, my friend. Good morning, Romney. 谢谢 Romney for the heart. Let's see. Ing says, that's why we need rules. Everyone should follow the rules if he or she wants to live in this group. Yeah, I understand. Hello, Lusa. And Lusa says, unacceptable. I am inclined to agree with you, Lusa. Totally unacceptable. Thank you, Xiao Xiao, for keeping others updated and informed. But yeah, just really quick, I'll just remind people and let you know what's going on. So we are back to doing only voice live streams because the platform feels that if you can see my face, you may be offended or afraid. So they won't allow me to show my face on stream. Yes, they don't allow me to show my face on stream unless I pay the platform to get more followers, which I am not going to do. But hey, at least we just need to get 5,000 more followers. We're currently at about 45,000. So it's okay. We can do it. We can do it if we actually put the effort behind it. It'll work out. But yeah, that's the situation that we're dealing with. We have very high confidence that we had some losers, some haters show up yesterday because we had a very, very popular stream yesterday. We had 240 concurrent viewers. We had 240 viewers at the same time yesterday during the live stream. And I am very confident that among that 240 viewers, there were a few little haters that reported the stream and got us shut down. Because, as a foreigner, we have much stricter rules than anyone else when it comes to doing live streams here. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. You guys are here every morning supporting the stream. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it because it really at least lets me feel that my effort is not going to waste because we do have a group of people that, continuously support the stream. One of the best ways to help support the stream, though, would be to actually push the videos because the videos on the channel are 100% compliant on the platform. So if we like or comment or share the videos on the channel, that's actually going to get the channel more followers so that we can break that 50,000 threshold. Honestly speaking, as long as we're above the threshold, I really don't care how many followers the channel has. But unless we get over 50,000, we won't be allowed to do a stream normally, unfortunately. But that's it. That's what it is. No, Romney. I'm pretty sure it was haters, Romney. I'm pretty sure it was haters. Because like with the names that I saw popping up and whatever is other people that are messing around in different streams and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was haters just reporting the stream. And listen, can you blame them? You can't really blame them, bro. Because if you got a guy like me that's just going on the stream, totally restricted, and I'm only doing streams in the morning time. I was doing only audio for months, right? And I'm still running a more successful stream community than they are. That sucks. I'd be jealous too if I were them. That's a really painful like stab to the ego. They're like, damn, we are unrestricted. We can do camera, we can do audio, we can post and say whatever we want, and we still can't be as successful with the stream as Comet. Damn. Yeah. I my heart were hurt if I was such a failure. Anyway. Oh my god, I love this comment. That is an awesome comment. Look, yo, okay, this guy says, people are offended by your face, but not your ideas. That's the reason. The platform is so ridiculous. Whoa, that was good. That was good. Wow. Dude, I can't say your name because I don't recognize the first character, but Mr. Z, that was excellent. I love that comment. That was great. 谢谢 Kailan. Welcome to the fan club. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your 关注. We really, really need the 粉丝. So thank you so much for that, Kailan. And welcome to the community, of course. Let's carry on, folks. Let's carry on. But either way, I'm still going to be posting the videos, right? And I'm still going to be posting that, sharing that content, pushing that, and hopefully we can get over the threshold. And as you guys know, I'm still doing the video live stream on YouTube. So if you really want to have access to the video stream and you have access to YouTube, you can actually check it out there. It's Comet Live. It's the same name on every single platform. This guy has a good looking face. Oh, that's so funny. I can't with you guys. Dude, Romney, I don't know. I really don't know. My face is offensive. It's scary. That's the problem. That is the problem. You guys are funny, though. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, let's go to the next bit. Let's go to the next bit. Number 3. Next talking point. So, moral dilemmas in self-preservation. All right. So, there are many times where we're going to face some tough decisions, right? Especially if we're talking about prioritizing yourself over others, right? So, the question is this. I asked this question yesterday, but we are revisiting this idea because yesterday was a bit of a mess in the live stream because of the restrictions. So we're revisiting the idea. So when it comes to prioritizing oneself, right? When is it acceptable? What are some of the things that we can do that we can consider as acceptable to prioritize oneself above others? And when are we crossing the line, you know? So that's what we're trying to break down. So I was expressing yesterday about the matter of prioritizing oneself. And for me, it's like this. If I'm prioritizing myself and that action or that order of prioritization is not hurting another person, it is not taking away from another person, then I think it's fine, right? I can put myself or my family, my friends above others. That's absolutely fine. So long as I'm not hurting or imposing on other people, then it shouldn't be an issue. I think that this is totally acceptable. It is not our responsibility individually to have to give to everyone else and take care of everyone else. That would be incredibly exhausting, right? This is why we have communities. This is why we have government. This is why we pay taxes, right? So that those contributions are used to actually support the general population or the people who are in need. On an individual basis, though, I think that the best thing that we can do is prioritize ourselves, our families, our direct communities, our friends, etc. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, dude. Now, the point in which we are crossing the line is here. It's very simple. If the action that I take is going to make it so that someone else loses something or is deprived of something, then I feel like we're crossing the line there. So it cannot be a blanket statement, right? Like there's a bit of nuance that we have to think about for this situation. But one of the things that I mean is, like, for example, stealing, right? If I'm stealing from another person just to enrich myself, to me, this is not acceptable, right? In this situation, I'm taking away from another person something that they've earned, likely something that they've earned, and taking it away without reason, in reality, other than to enrich myself or to give it to myself, even if I need it. So in this situation, I would say this is not great. This is not something that we can do. You can prioritize yourself without taking away from others. That's how I see it. Even when you're lying, dude, I believe lying is acceptable so long as you are lying for the right reasons, right? I think everybody likes to make that example, which I think is true, right? If you have, I mean, without getting too political, if you had, Jews in your basement during the, what is it, World War II, and the Nazis came a knocking, asking, do you have any Jews in your basement? Well, then it might be nice to lie to preserve the lives of those people, especially if you have innocent people. We're talking about children. We're talking about people who are not combatants or in any way. Yeah, definitely. You would be lying for the right reasons. So that's why I say, like, lying, I don't think lying is something that is wrong in itself, but lying for your own benefit and to hurt others, I definitely think is. Yeah, probably, Romney. But outside of that, like, I'm trying to draw the parallels here with when you are, let's say, in your department, in the office or whatever, and you spread rumors or lies about someone so that they wouldn't be the next one up for a promotion, and it puts you up for a promotion or something like that. Yeah, that's slimy. That's super, super slimy. And in that situation, I understand that you would be sorry, you would be prioritizing yourself. So that much I get. But you are prioritizing yourself at the detriment of another person. Now, you taking an opportunity versus another person, I think that's totally fine. But you doing something that hurts the other individual's chances at the same opportunity, I don't believe that that is an acceptable way to better yourself. It all comes back around sooner or later, though. Oh yeah, this reminds me of Xiao Xiao says sometimes we lie for the purpose of love and protection. This reminds me of this episode from The Good Doctor. You know, the guy, like, he's like autistic and he's a doctor. Anyway, so the janitor was sick. He had like pancreatic cancer or something, and the good doctor, what's his name? I forget his name, but the kid, he says, I don't understand, like, how to lie, or I don't understand when I should lie, when I should tell the truth. And it doesn't really make sense to me, right? Because he just doesn't understand social cues very well. And the janitor said to him, he says, it's okay to lie when you're lying to help others. And unfortunately, like in the story, in the episode, the janitor dies. He dies during surgery. And the family, they're all like fighting and accusing each other of, oh, it's your fault that, dad is dead and blah, blah, blah. He didn't want to do the surgery and he was so afraid. And so the good doctor said to them, he says, actually, you're all wrong. He wanted this surgery. He told me so, that he wanted to do it himself and he wanted to take the chance. And then after he said that to the family, then the family stopped fighting and they just started crying and embracing each other, whatever. Later, one of the other doctors asked him, "Is like, oh, did he really tell you that?" And he says, "No, no, he didn't tell me that, but he did tell me, if you need to lie in order to help others." And I said, "Oh, okay." So he ended up lying to get the family to stop fighting, especially in such a critical situation. Oh, this is funny. So he says sometimes some old lady dresses so little dance, if that's the dance, in their videos. What is the point? Why the platform? Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. I've seen crazy, crazy things on the live stream on WeChat, and those people don't get blocked. I've seen people doing like striptease dances with super short skirts and doing all these funny little voices, trying to sound all sexy but underage, which is super pedo-y. But yeah, they don't get blocked, they don't get censored. It is what it is. There's guys that do this too. It is what it is, man. Listen, I don't expect the platforms to be fair to me. Hmm. No, well, that's a very good one. Yeah, Romney says all chickens come home to roost. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. Shame on those old women. Uh, so Iris says, I often lie when people ask me questions about privacy. I 100% agree with you, Iris. 100% agree with you. Your private life is your business, is no one else's business. And if somebody's asking you a personal question and you want them to stop prying on you and you need to lie, then you lie because it's none of their business in reality. Like people ask me private stuff all the time. Like even some other like live streamers and influencers that I know, I would meet them in person and sometimes they would ask me some things about my private life or relationships or whatever, and I'm just like, that's a really cool question. And then I just don't answer the question. And they're like, okay, but how about the answer? And I was like, I don't owe you an answer. Simple. I don't owe you an answer. If you come to me and you ask me, it's like, hey, comment, so do you have a girlfriend? Are you gay? Are you straight? Have you ever been married? Do you have any kids? How much money do you make? Like, in reality, I don't owe you an answer. So I just don't answer. And if I answer, I'll give you some sort of ridiculous answer so you can stop asking me. Because that's the fact. It's like, yeah, some things I'd like to keep private because it's not related to what I do. It's not related to my business. It's not related to my topics that I stream about, my platform. So I don't need to share those things. There are many people that they do content creation or streams based on their families. For example, they do like family streams and things like this. And that's cool. That's great for them. I'm not one of those people, right? My streams are about personal development, business consulting, and I keep it that way. And my favorite question to not answer, Where are you from? That's a good one. Well, it depends if they're making money or not. Yeah, Lusa, it is what it is. Yeah, where are the boundaries, my friends? Where are the boundaries? Yeah, but this is how I see it. I don't know, what do you guys think? But that's how I see it. It's like if we are crossing a line where we are intentionally harming others to bring ourselves up, that's the line for me. But also at the same time, you should never compromise yourself. Don't compromise your happiness, your safety, your security, your well-being to help other people. Okay? I'm a hypocrite. I am definitely a hypocrite because I have compromised my own safety. If you guys remember what I was talking about yesterday, like if you went to the bars and the clubs and stuff, and I saw that some people were in danger and I would intervene, don't do that. That's a stupid thing to do. Okay. So yes, I am a hypocrite in that sense, but it is still my suggestion. You should not compromise your own safety, your own well-being, your livelihood, or anything else in order to help others. If you can help others at minimal or no cost to yourself, then I think that's absolutely fine. But helping others at the sake of you losing something that's important to you, that's not fair. So definitely, you know, be cautious about this. I'm like, outside of that being your actual job or responsibility, I'd say definitely no. Because if you are a firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, or something like this, like, unfortunately, this is part of your job. This is part of your duty. This is what you signed up for, right? So in that case, I understand compromising yourself in many ways to be able to help others and support others. Yeah. So I understand that. But as individuals, as regular everyday people, mm, I definitely say pass. Look, unless you want to be Batman, but that's your thing. All right, so let's see here. Our next talking point is empathy through understanding. But before we do that, let me remind you guys one more time. Um, Please remember, hit that follow button. We're trying to get to that 50,000 follower mark so we can flip off all the haters. We need 5,000 more. We're at 45,000 fans. So make sure you hit that follow button. And whenever possible, do support the videos on the channel. In reality, the videos on the channel is what's going to help us generate more traffic and get more followers faster so we can get over that threshold. Thanks again. All right. So, empathy through understanding. So, if we take some time and we try to understand the intent that someone has in a situation, of course, it can help you avoid harsh judgment. But I feel like we've sort of touched on this before already. We don't look at people's actions as plainly right or wrong or black and white, right? There's always nuance to everything that we do. And the intention behind what people are doing is very important. However, there are some times where it's too much. There are some times where even though someone's intentions are good, they keep doing what they are doing and they end up causing more harm than good. More and more and more harm. So in those situations, we need to draw the line, we need to be strict, and we need to be like, hey, you need to stop. that is enough. Because kindly asking people to back off sometimes doesn't work. So you need to be hard. You need to be tough. You need to be harsh and say, hey, what you're doing is not helpful. What you're doing is causing more harm than good. You need to stop. So yes, we do need to take into account that the intent behind the person's action is important. But we also, like I said earlier, should not allow that good intent to compromise on our well-being, to compromise on the good that we are trying to accomplish at the end of the day. Okay. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Fairy. Yes, it is early. Hey, Fairy. 关注一下. I see you. We're up early. We're up with you. Make sure you hit the follow button, Fairy. Thank you so much. Hi, Neil. 谢谢. And remember to share. So let's see. Iris says, I lived with a couple years ago. The very first piece of advice they gave me was to always ignore their fight, because if I interfered, I'd end up a target of them who were a team. Wait, so Iris, it looks like we're missing something from that sentence. I lived with, oh, I understand now. Okay, I understand now. We need a comma somewhere in there, or an apostrophe. So I lived with a couple a few years ago. Okay, got it. So you live with a couple, so like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or something like that, a few years ago. The very first piece of advice they gave me was to always ignore their fights, because if I interfered, I end up the target of both of them, which were a team. This is so true. This is so true, Iris. This is so true. All right. So what does this mean? This means that, okay, if you see a couple, right? These guys are in a relationship. If you see a couple that's fighting or arguing, don't get in the way. Don't interfere, because you will be the target of all that anger from both of them. It is not going to help. It is going to be much worse. I've had friends that, it's so sad. I'm sure you guys have heard a story like this before. I have one friend a long time ago in New York City. He was in the train station and he saw this guy who was beating up his girlfriend. Oh my goodness. And of course, this dude, he's not from New York City. He's a very traditional country guy. And where he comes from, you don't touch women. You never hit a woman, no matter what. And of course, he interferes and he jumps in and he starts beating up the boyfriend and restraining him. And guess what happens? I bet you won't guess what happened. I bet you cannot guess what happened when he went to defend the girl. Of course, the girl jumps on top of him and starts beating him up. Of course. So when the girl's getting beaten by her boyfriend and this stranger comes to help her and defend her, she goes and attacks the stranger. You can't win, man. You can't win. Another good piece of advice in this sort of situation. If you have, let's say, a good friend or a family member, and they have issues with their couple, right? With their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, do not comment on it. Just don't. Just don't. So let's say you have a girl. She's your friend. She's a good friend. And she's complaining about her husband or her boyfriend. Let's say it's her boyfriend. She's always complaining about her boyfriend, how her boyfriend is inconsiderate, that he doesn't show any affection, and that sometimes he's rude to her, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Eventually, they decide to break up, right? And throughout the situation, you're always talking bad about the boyfriend and how horrible he was and all this stuff. And then what happens? They get back together. They get back together, and the boyfriend knows that you were talking shit about him. And it makes every situation so awkward. You cannot be around each other because you know that you were saying horrible things about him, but she decided to get back with him anyway. And then when you talk bad about him, then she ends up fighting with you about it because, hey, that's my boyfriend. You shouldn't say those things. Oh, such a pain in the ass. Such a pain. But this is the reality. This is what really happens. Whether it is a friend or a family member or whatever, we should not take it upon ourselves, even though we want to, we should not take it upon ourselves to talk badly about someone else's spouse to make them feel better. Because it's going to be really, really awkward when that person still ends up being their spouse and you guys end up together at, I don't know, an event or in a car or whatever, knowing what the other has said about one another. It's horrible and very awkward. So just don't do it. Just be like, wow, that's crazy, interesting. I hope things get better. Yeah, Xiao Xiao says, a quarrel between husband and wife. What is that? A quarrel between husband and wife is soon patched up. Leave them alone. Yes, leave them alone. Let them fight amongst themselves. Don't worry about the nonsense. Don't get involved with that nonsense, my friends. It's not worth it. Oh man, there's just no medicine. There's just no way around it. The best thing we could do is, again, self-preservation. Worry about yourself. Take care of yourself. Be there as a friend to support your friend internally. Be like, hey, you're tough. You can handle this. Don't worry about it. If you need me to cook you some fried rice, it's okay. I can go get you some ice cream. But don't do it by giving off more negative energy because it'll come back and bite you in the butt. Oh, that's also possible. Iris says if they don't get back together, she will still blame you because she will regret breaking up when she feels lonely. That makes sense. That makes sense too. When you're in that sort of emotional state of mind, it's very difficult to make rational decisions, to make logical decisions, to do the right thing or to do something that is actually good for you. So the worst thing is to have someone else who's like egging you on and pushing you to make these sort of decisions, and then you end up regretting it. And then they end up hating you for it. Yes, yes, yeah. You need to worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Oh man. All right, let's see here. I want to go to some tips for this discussion. When it comes to self-preservation, we're going to give you guys some practical tips. Hopefully, they're going to be useful and applicable in a very easy fashion. Let's see here. Okay. So, first, I'm going to put a question out there, see if we get any interesting replies. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed to prioritize yourself? Or have you ever been in a situation where you felt hurt by someone because they had to prioritize themselves? Feel free, take a moment and think about it. I am sure in our lives, we've had plenty of situations where we need to protect ourselves or prioritize ourselves, even though it may hurt someone else. Or we've been in a situation where someone that we know or that we trust prioritized themselves, even though it ended up hurting us. Like, I will tell you, in my situation, I think there's one particular example that comes to mind. I had a very close friend who was unfortunately stuck in a very, very bad situation. And to be honest with you, he put himself in that situation. Honestly speaking, he definitely put himself in that situation. Um, while I don't think that they deserved all the ridicule and all the weight that came, the consequences were particularly harsh for the actions that were taken. But for me, I understood that if I continued to associate myself with this person, that unfortunately, that's going to take a hard toll on me, that it is not only going to be bad for my reputation, but it would also be dangerous for me to associate or to continue associating with that friend. That's how serious the situation was. And I knew this guy for years, years and years. But I understood that the reason, they were in such a harsh situation was because of their own attitude, their own personality, and the bad choices that they have made to that point. So even though we can be good friends, we can be very close, I still need to make sure to prioritize myself. I need to prioritize my self preservation. I cannot risk or lose everything that I've worked for, literally everything that I worked for over the span at that point of like a decade, just because my friend made some bad choices. Why? Like, there is literally no benefit in that for either one of us. So, in that sort of situation, it's like I need to prioritize myself and not be close to this person anymore. And that's it. There's no choice. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Especially when you are not the person responsible for the things that are going on, for the bad things that are happening in a situation, when you have nothing to do with it, then of course you need to self prioritize. You need to practice self preservation. If you have no fault in a situation, then there's no reason why you should be bearing consequences for someone else. And it's unfortunately as simple as that, even if they are good friends. All right, folks, with that said, it is 8:54 in the morning. So I think a lot of you will be starting work shortly at 9 a.m. I want to say thank you once again for being here. Make sure you hit the follow button. 关注一下，谢谢。谢谢送礼物的朋友们. Thank you to all the friends who've given gifts today. Thank you, Kylan, dropping that 71. For the last 7 days, Alfred also, and I don't know how to say this person's name. It's like Tian 什么Tian什么营. I don't know how to say their name, but thank you to you guys. For today, though, in particular, 谢谢 Mary, Terry, Tian Tian, Peter, Xiao Xiao, 东上小鲱鱼, and this name that I cannot read very well. I don't know how to read your name. It looks like two trees next to each other, and then it has like a jiu on top of the two trees, but I don't know what Chinese character that is. And then the last one is like yu or dong. Well, I don't know how to say your name, but thank you so much. 谢谢你. Guys, remember, we still need to get 5,000 followers, at least 5,000 more followers, so that we can actually continue to do our video stream. Let's not let the effort and the time and the money go to waste on this camera equipment and this lighting, because it sucks. I cannot do a video stream after spending so much time and money on putting up the quality of this live stream. That is so disappointing. So yeah, the best way that you can help support the channel, of course, you can go to the channel, share the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos. Remember that the videos on the channel are 100% compliant with the platform rules. So If you share those videos or you like or comment on those videos, it will help push traffic through the algorithm and it will help us get more fans so we can break that 50,000 threshold, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. So yeah, that's about it. Remember, you can also add me on WeChat. So my WeChat name is the same as the channel name, Komitlive, Live, Komitlive. If you use YouTube and you want to see the video stream, you can also follow me on YouTube, same name. Literally every platform, I have the exact same name, Komitlive. Douyin, TikTok, WeChat, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. It's all going to be the same. Instagram, same name. You know, I thankfully found the name that is available on all platforms. So with that said, enjoy your Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend. Like me, look at every challenge as a learning opportunity, as a way to make yourself better, smarter, stronger. And we'll get through this. We'll get through this nonsense together. You know, hate is gonna hate, ain't is gonna ain't. That's all there is to it. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Stay beautiful, stay amazing, and I will see you next time. Remember, our schedule is usually Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I may randomly pop up during the evening with another live streamer like Blurry Face or someone else, or randomly during the weekend, but that's not on schedule. So it will be random if you see it. Stay amazing, stay beautiful. Bye-bye. Daughters.